A point that I want to make, the reason why we are against even putting this on the ballot as of right now is because students don't have the whole picture.
Yeah.
If this is what students want, then this is what they want. They can do it.
Okay.
But without having all the information, it's unethical to ask somebody to make a decision if you give them half truths.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Another point that's very important is that the first floor, we mentioned earlier that the bookstore doesn't pay rent, right?
Yeah.
The first and second floor of this building were built using the student activity fee money.
Okay.
This means that this space is guaranteed student space.
Mm-hmm.
We have both the bookstore and the Bear Cafe in the first floor, and they're not paying rent. If they were paying rent, that's something that could be since they already took the space, you know.
Yeah.
If they were paying rent, that could go into the student activity fee funds and subsidize, even reduce what we're paying now.
Mm-hmm.
So why charge us more, you know?
That's one option that they haven't exhausted yet.
Do you think there's anything that students could do to pressure administration to make these corporations that like now the Hoffman has what is it, Bear Cafe?
Yeah, Bear Cafe.
And there's a lot of more in the cafeteria. There's Yo Tango, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that students as a group or whole could do to pressure the CCNY administration to make them pay rent, or anyway bring this to CCNY administration?
I mean, I would say absolutely. Unfortunately, there is kind of a culture of fear. Mm-hmm. On campus. People are kind of afraid. We have a huge, and I think this is kind of what adds to it. We have a huge security, presence on campus, and people are afraid to protest. People are afraid to ask, tough questions. Mm-hmm. Even though these questions might have been brought up in their heads, they're kind of afraid to air it, simply because, I guess the academic integrity of our school is kind of, unstable, because, you could be attacked, and people could be attacked in other ways, but that hasn't been the reality ever since I've been, I guess, 2 out of the 4 years that I've been here,
mm-hmm.
And I'm about to graduate in June, but 2 out of the 4 years that I've been here, I have, been an activist, and I've asked those tough questions, and I've never had to face any of those issues that people are fearful of. But one thing that I definitely think that students as a whole should do at CCNY is put pressure on the people that they elected to represent them, USG.
And following up to what Davey just said, I have to say that a lot of the students that I spoke to about the student activity fee were not even aware that they were paying for this until I brought it up. Mm-hmm. Kenroy was going around getting the petition signed, not explaining the whole side until we started campaigning against it.
Yeah.
Furthermore, I have to say that this is a commuter school for the most part. A lot of our students commute and they work and they do all these things. They don't really have maybe the time,
mm-hmm.
and they elect these people to represent them, and they're not representing the interest of the students. They're representing either their own interests, following their own agenda, or just serving basically as a puppet for administration and to basically pursue the goals that administration has, not the goals of the student body as a whole.
Okay. I have a question for Davey for something you just mentioned regarding the SEC, this department,
SSC.
the
Mm-hmm.
SSC being paid to use an administration of salaries. Is there any is there any documented proof or?
Yes, I have. All you have to do is print out a copy. I didn't bring a copy with me, but I'd be happy to show it to you. A copy of the governance that governs SSC, the specific contract that SSC has with CCNY.
Okay.
Explicitly says that no administrative salaries can be paid out of student money.
Okay.
Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. And this is something that other CUNY campuses have dealt with in the past, such as BMCC.
Mm-hmm.
And as a resolution, BMCC has now separated student life from their equivalent of student life from the SSC budget, and it's now being paid for by the administration,
okay.
Which is ethical, which is the right thing to do. But
mm-hmm.
instead, they're kind of putting the cost on us, the people that can afford it the least.
And I think as of right now, 2 salaries are being paid from the student activity fee. And if this money was taken back and put back into the pool of student activity fee money, then maybe you will need to raise the fee, because even if those people were making, I don't know, $30,000, which I doubt that's what they're making, that's $60,000 more into this pool of money.
That would bridge the gap.
Yeah.
Do you know whose salary is being paid by?
I'd prefer not to mention names, but I know that they are in student life.
Okay. All right. Another I think this question was asked about on on Facebook. Why has anyone in S.E.R. tried to run for USG candidate? And if yes or no, why haven't you? Why haven't you, or why have you?
Well, I haven't run, or I haven't taken that route because I feel that being an activist out of the Morales-Shakur Center, I've been a member of several organizations that run from there. I have more freedom in what I do, and I don't have the restrictions that USG says they have. I don't know if they do have these restrictions, but I feel better working on my own into the things I care and I think other students care about, because I don't think USG is very functional. And if you, to be able to be elected, if you're a senator, I had a friend that was a senator that believed in the same, had the same ideals that I have, and he wasn't able to do anything because his voice was dimmed by everybody else's, basically the administration.
And for me, the reason that I have always been weary. I was invited last semester, or the semester before last, to join slates and to either become a senator or to run for a VP position, an executive position with undergraduate student government. And I denied it simply for the fact that, like Esida said, that I would be bogged down by all their administrative stuff that they do, which which is pretty much counterproductive for me. I feel like I've gotten S.E.R. and myself have gotten so much work done being outside of USG than within it. And also, just on another point, I don't want to get paid to do the things that I love. I do the things that I love because I believe in justice. I believe in working for justice as hard and with all my heart. And when you get paid to do the things that you love, it dilutes it, and it exploits that. It exploits that delusion that you have. So I'd prefer not to get paid to do what I love. I volunteer my time to do this.
Okay. Another question is, how many students are part of S.E.R.?
Well, in the Morales-Shakur Center, we have more than one organization running at this point. The Black Student Union also runs out of the Morales-Shakur Center. So I could say that we work together in certain issues, and then we also Radical Women. We work together in certain issues, and then in other issues we work separate. I could say we have about 30. Between the Black Student Union, S.E.R., Radical Women.
Right. Yeah. And with S.E.R. specifically, we have a lot of people that are involved in our movements, but in terms of core organizers, we have only a few people. And these are the people that really dedicate their time to making sure that the Morales-Shakur Center stays above water, and also make sure that that all the administrative stuff gets done within the Morales-Shakur Center, so that S.E.R. can continue its activism. We have many members, but it's just a matter of making sure that that core members actually get the administrative stuff done.
Everyone, you're listening to NYPIRG Radio with S.E.R. Students of Educational Rights. We're going to take a quick musical break. We're going to come back with announcements. If you guys want to call in and ask questions, the number is 212-650-8171. I repeat, 212-650-8171. We're going to come back with announcements and more questions with S.E.R. This is NYPIRG Radio on WCCR 590 AM.
I know, right? Lots of crazy information.